Thanks, everybody, and thanks for your patience. I'm really quite frightened about this, and people who know me will never understand that. But my dementia has affected me emotionally. I've called mine, I know it says a snapshot, but I call it my 8-year race with dementia. First of all, my name's Agnes. I haven't written that down. I just assumed everybody would know me. And then I realised that's not true. And I've had dementia for, it seems, forever. I can't remember what it was like not having dementia, which seems quite sad. And you would need to ask my daughter when. I was working. I was age 57 when I was diagnosed with dementia. I multitask, very good at what I do. And when I hear people talking about me, I'm quite oppressed about me, but I don't have a lot of memory of that person. So what I started with is, I think for a long time, I was trying to outrun my dementia after my diagnosis. And just like my pal there, who I forget her name, I tried all the things, healthy diet, all of that, and I still do. And I thought if I kept my brain active and done all the things that you told me and I was a good girl, that I would keep dementia at bay and it would slow down. And then all you as professional scientists, you would find the magic cure. And then I would be fine and it would be just like a wee nightmare, but I'd woke up from it. Well, 8 years later, my memory issues are the least of my problems. I've got tips and strategies. I've got my daughter at the other end of the phone. We've got coordinators in the working group. There's always someone prepared to help me, prompt me, and it's manageable. In fact, when I go to the gym, I think I've got a better memory than some of the girls in the gym. But the physical, mental, and emotional issues that came along, they crept along the side and then they bit me in the bum when I wasn't looking. And they were more intense and more life-altering than the diagnosis of dementia ever was. And here's my personal reflections. And remember, you know one person with dementia, you know one person with dementia, because we're all different, like licorice all sorts. We fool you, but we can be sweet. Anyway, we all expect it, and we even dread the memory issues. It's the first thing they say, you know, when it comes after the diagnosis of dementia. And they talk about it a lot, and they'll give you plenty of strategies. And I accepted this, got used to it. And I was quite good at covering up my slips. Nobody will know that I don't know your name, because I've got good plans there. And it was James McKillop that helped me develop them. So I live a reasonable, comfortable life. When the physical, and I was very good physically, when it began to decline, and then it started to affect my hearing and my eyesight, and then I started to get frequent infections, and I couldn't understand. And not only that, Mr. Google didn't have many answers. Neither did the professionals. I couldn't find anything. I was too young and fit. You get frequent infections when you're near the end stage, they said. You tell that to my chest consultant. Anyway, that was where it was. And then I began, because I was good at going to the gym, as Nina said, we start keeping fit and doing things like that. But what do you do when you're good at the gym and then the environment of the gym is no longer fit for purpose? It was horrific. I wanted my gym. I liked my gym buddies. I had to then ask them how they could change it, and that was a challenge. And when I was feeling the least wanting to change my environment, and when I was at my lowest ebb to change my environment, there was nobody else going to do it. If I wanted my gym, I had to pull my socks up and do something about it. And it was hard, and it was taking away from me. So I started losing the classes because a lot of them listened but didn't understand what I was saying, and I had to remove myself. The loud noise, the buzz, the activity, it wasn't good for me. I asked for help, and as I said, they heard my words, but they didn't know or understand how to resolve it. But I've managed to retain my yoga. And I feel so blessed at that. Now, I didn't do yoga before dementia. And you know, yoga is good for your balance, core muscles. It's good for lots of things. It's very good for my dementia anyway. And I have to thank my yoga buddies for that, because they went home, they thought out the box and found solutions. And I still go to yoga 3 or 4 times a week, except for when I'm here. But now, I told you I was getting annoyed. I became very prickly, intolerant to people who didn't understand me. And when the noise and everything, I became quite snappy, or so I'm told. I know I was snappy, but anyway. I felt that people talked too much and too long. Yes, James, even more than me. I've been known to be quite vocal. I needed more emotional reassurance. People think I can talk. I need hugs, which I get a lot of. Encouraging words. And as my needs increased, I noticed people were getting thin on the ground. But what about my vision issues? You'd have thought by now. I call it my brain blindness. I can't begin to explain to you what it felt like when it started affecting my eyesight, and especially over the last 18 months as my symptoms got worse. I developed double vision, ghosting, my balance issues, my depth perceptions, they fluctuate and get worse. And that's why I'm holding on here, because I have balance issues. I've been bumped by a car crossing the road. I've had numerous falls. And you know something, I'll ask a question. How many people in this audience knows that dementia can affect your eyesight? Yeah? A few. How many of you know where I should go to get help? Nobody. Oh, so 1, 2. Oh yes, my friend there who has the same issues as me. So anyway, what I feel is that I think that's quite sad, especially the numbers who are affected by these issues. But this is my story, and I'm not going to give you a lecture. Maybe I will. No, I won't. So my body, when I go into areas, is in a heightened state of alertness. It's like going into a battlefield. I feel in danger, and I react that I'm in a dangerous situation. I feel I'm in a constant state of heightened awareness of my surroundings. Am I safe? I'm hypervigilant, trying to be safe. And that causes a lot of issues. I sometimes think I live in a horror movie where nothing is as it appears to use. Is that 1 cup there? Is that 2? White on white. Where's the floor? Trying to come into an environment like this with patterned, with a black line there, that I want to lift my leg up and do all sorts of weird and wonderful things. And no, I'm not drunk, although I had a glass of wine last night. My optician, I squint, so you'll see me walking along here, and I'm going like that, and people wink back at me. Or you'll see me, I stumble, or I just stand still. In the middle of this environment, I just stand still because I don't know what to do. I don't know what's safe. I close my eyes, and I hope when I open it up, life will be the way you see it, and it doesn't always happen. My eyes see perfectly. It's my brain that's not interpreting the things as it should. These physical challenges are stopping me from being a productive member of society. And I'm sad about that, because I think I have a lot to give. I struggle writing. I can no longer write my own speeches. And I still want to campaign. But how do we do that? I need more help and more time. I'm missing what's happening. Eh? All right. And in this busy world, that's what I don't have. Time and understanding. I want my feelings to be validated. I think I'm getting told to hurry up. And the Italian people in here told me to speak slowly. I did find peer support, though. I didn't find it in Scotland. I found it on the web. Dementia is a global issue, and I found the global solution with the use of my iPad. And between the dementia mentors, they helped me to come to terms with all these issues. And I no longer feel alone. I have hope. The day I was told I was no longer safe to cross the road without assistance and guidance, my friend Nancy, who's here, she will tell you this story. She said, "How are you, Agnes?" And I said in a very polite voice, "I am very well." And in a practical, no-nonsense voice, she said, "Don't listen to the professionals. Why don't you come whitewater rafting with me?" I says, "Nancy, I can't cross the road." And she said, "I didn't ask you to cross the road. I asked you to come whitewater rafting." And with a little help from my friends, Dementia Adventure friends, and my daughter Donna, we did just that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Agnes. And now please welcome her daughter Donna, who will give us a short, a short glimpse, snapshot. I have to stick to the time. I'm so sorry, because sharp 2 o'clock we have to leave this room for the next session. I welcome you to join us tomorrow.
Good afternoon, everyone. As you can see, that's me and my mum and Nancy. We had a blast. It was brilliant. I want to say that thank you to the European Working Group Persons with Dementia for inviting me as a carer to speak. I want to say that I am so very grateful for the opportunity, and I'll make it short. I want to say that I'm grateful for the early diagnosis my mum received. It has enabled us as a family to talk of her future plans and ask her opinion and get it in writing and video, and it's her opinion. But the very first thing you must do is, while the person has capacity, is power of attorney. Make an advance statement. This advance statement can be reviewed and should be reviewed on a regular basis, so that as you change and your beliefs change and your wishes change, it changes with you. And so that it grows with your dementia and with your changing what you learn. You come to a conference, you learn something. I'll put that in my advance statement. I'm so pleased that Mum was introduced to the Scottish Dementia Working Group so early in her dementia journey. It changed all of her lives. Meeting James, who stood up and said, as a person with dementia, you can learn new things, had a profound effect on everyone. And I'm very grateful for that. Going to conferences gave my mum information how to live well with dementia, and gave me the opportunity to learn how to assist her and not be a carer. I hate the word carer, but that's personal. And my mum lives alone and still does 8 years on. And until recently, she's managed quite well with her tips and strategies. Her physical issues with her dementia has progressed, and this is something it is hard to help with. I can learn tips on how to guide her with her eyesight, but I'm not always there. So we adapted and changed. I have promised my mum, as long as she wants to campaign, I will enable her to do so, especially when you take me to Malta. It's great. So I've found that I have to be flexible, have a sense of humour, and have time to relax. And my mum and I go to yoga together. But what I have to say as a carer, it is your responsibility, and I know it's difficult, to have these difficult discussions with the person with dementia. And then they'll turn it on you and say, what do you want? Where do you want to be buried? What end of life care do you want? But you must have this discussion early. So so when the doctor says to you, what does this person want? You don't say, I don't know. You do know. You have the opportunity to talk to them, and you must. It's a very great responsibility, and it's very difficult, and you'll have a great, but please, 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 ask the person while they can talk and speak and campaign. Nancy, what would you like? We're having a Kaylee at Nancy's funeral, she tells me. So anyway, I'll shut up now, but that's what I challenge you all. And it's also for the person with dementia. It is so helpful for the carer to know that we are speaking your words. Thank you.